Welcome back, Light and Wealth Club, to another Light and Wealth Club podcast. We have a good one for you today. Make sure you're liking, sharing, and most importantly, subscribing, as we're trying to reach 2,000 subscribers. Help us by just giving us a simple subscribe. Also, I invite you all to check out our website, lightandwealthclub.com, where we post articles on politics, finance, and things that we find interesting. You can sign up to our newsletter and receive our emails in your email today. Help me welcome my guest, Jay Solano. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing good, bro. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, man. So, Jay, I kind of got exposed to you through Bozo. I got connected with Bozo, started hitting him up. I liked his music, interviewed him, and then I started noticing that he hangs out with this big guy.
Yeah,
and I'm like, who's this big guy, right?
Yeah.
So I check you out, and I find out you're an actor.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I want to get into your story on how you became an actor.
Okay.
Business side of it. Something some of us might not know about the actor life, or the upcoming actor life. But I do want to know your background, because I know you have an interesting background, and coming where you come from, I think it's a very rare thing that someone becomes an actor.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's something just out of the ordinary,
Absolutely. So my journey started about 3 years ago. So let me just tell you a little bit of backstory. I'm a recovering addict. I basically had a moment of clarity about 3 years ago. Caught COVID-19 in 2021. So 2021 came. I'm there 45 days, 46 days in the ICU. In between those 46 days, I have this moment of clarity where I make it sounds weird, but I made a deal with God. And I said, you know what, God, if you're real, you'll help me get better, and I will change my life.
Yeah.
And I say maybe 3-4 days later, I started getting better.
Did you grow up religious?
Somewhat. I mean, I've always known about God, but I've never really practiced it because I always ran my own program. I was in and out of prison for a lot of years, did a lot of terms. And, I lived the street life.
Yeah.
I lived the fast life, the street life. And that
How old were you when you first started living that life?
16 years old.
So from 16 to
16.
About 3 years ago,
Yeah,
you were just on the
in my
streets.
40s, yeah. On my streets. If I wasn't in prison, I was running the streets, and trying to make a fast buck. So, lo and behold, I had this moment of clarity, and I made this deal with God, and I just figured, you know what, I got to hold my end up, because I was being told to get my affairs in order. I was getting told, I was literally asking the doctor. I said, hey, doc, am I going to make it? Me and you are friends. We know each other for over a month now. And he goes, he shakes his head and he goes, no, but he goes, yeah, you're going to make it, but he's telling me no. So I'm understanding that from a business viewpoint, as a doctor, he can't tell me you're going to die. Because that's wrong.
He needs to give you like optimism and stuff.
So he's telling me, but he says, and keep in mind, he's telling me this while he's in a spacesuit.
Yeah.
And at the time he was looking like Doc from Back to the Future, in a white spacesuit, jetpack. And at this time, I had contracted Delta COVID-19.
So this was a new variant.
The second strain.
Okay.
So this was about the time where they had bodies being outside in the storage bins.
Yeah.
In the refrigerators.
So hold on. Let me just try to put myself in that position. So I'm in ICU. I'm sure you're hearing stories that people are not making it in ICU, and you're still an addict or a recovering addict at this point.
So at this point, I realized, I go, hey, you know what? I haven't used it in about a couple weeks.
Okay.
So I'm feeling kind of good now. I'm saying, man, you know what? I'm clean. I'm sober. I have a few weeks now under my belt. But now reality starts setting in, and feelings start setting in. And I'm saying, hey, man, am I gonna get out of here? But then I'm on these breathing machines. I have all these tubes. They're taking blood. They're taking checking this, that, and the other. And
were you scrawny? Like, did you lose a lot of weight?
I had lost maybe about 30 pounds.
Damn.
Lost about 30 pounds, and my eyes start getting black. I just started, my face started sinking in, and I started noticing that I was deteriorating.
Yeah.
So I figured, you know what, I better ask the doctor. So doctor comes in, and I go, hey, doc, what's up? Am I gonna live or die? Just give me the straight up honest truth, So he tells me, just get your affairs in order. Start calling your family, get on that FaceTime.
Wow.
So I start thinking he left, and I start just had that moment of clarity where I just started crying and I just started saying, you know what, man, this sucks. Because as a gang member and in my the type of lifestyle that I lived, the way we wanted to go out was getting smoked,
Yeah.
Getting shot from a cop or an enemy
That's like
on the street. That's how we want to go out, right?
But that's like the righteous way of going out.
That's the way everybody wants to go out. So, but to be on a hospital bed and to be withering away and not being able to get up and not be able to control bowel movement or urinating on yourself, I'm starting to see myself. I'm saying, damn, this ain't looking too good,
Like you never believed you were going to be in this position.
Yeah, no. And I was cursing God. I was cursing God for that fact that that he was putting me through this. So I had one day I had said, you know what, God, if you get me out of this jam, I'll change my life and I'll be a better person and I'll be a role model. So lo and behold, a couple of days later, I started getting better, and doctors are saying, doctor starts coming in without the jet suit, the jet pack and all that. He goes, hey, you know what? You're getting better. I don't know what you did, but you're getting better. Nurse comes in and says, hey, they might even let you go home in a couple of days. And I go, no way. Well, yeah. A couple of days later, they wheeled me out. They says, hey, go see your doctor. So I ended up contracting COPD and getting I had a lot of lung damage in my right lung.
During this time, what were you hearing from your family? Like, how was the vibes or
phone calls?
Yeah.
The phone calls were pretty much everybody was trying to be positive, but everybody's crying. We love you. And then there was even one point where I was making arrangements for my funeral, what I wanted, who I wanted there, who I didn't want there, what color did I want my casket, what I want there.
So it started getting like real
heavy, real serious, And then all of a sudden I came home. Everybody was happy. Took me about a year to start walking pretty good because I was still weak, and it was just horrible. It was a horrible experience, and I didn't wish that on nobody,
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it that it was finally that was me, because you would always hear stories about somebody's uncle, somebody's aunt caught it and died in 2 weeks,
Yeah, hell yeah.
And
my uncle had it for a month, and he passed away. No.
Oh wow.
Well, because he waited a month.
Oh wow.
Literally, because he waited a month. Like, he had it for a month, but didn't go to the hospital for a month.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying? And then when it got really bad, he started going to the hospital. But at that time, man, it's too late.
Yeah, by that time, I had contracted pneumonia and COVID, and lungs were doing bad. They had liquid, water in the lungs, all that.
Wow.
And so it was horrible. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't put 3 words together without coughing. So fast forward to a year after I got out of the hospital, I decided to get off my backside and do something with myself. So I said, I gotta do something.
But what was that? What do you think was the light bulb? Was it just you talking to God and then making that deal with him?
That light bulb, yeah, what was that? But at the same time, I was still in my little just bubble, because I was still going to the doctors. I have a lung specialist, my primary doctor. I had went blind in my right eye. A lot of things have been taken from me, So for a minute, I was kind of like poor me type thing. And
depression.
I had to really like check myself and say, hey, I still got a lot to live for, I still got kids, I got family, I got the homies around me. So they had finally called me and they says, hey, let's get out. Let's go out for a little bit, So Angel had called me, Bozo had called me and says, hey, get off that couch now, eh? It's time to get off that couch and let's go. I need you over here. So I went a few times out with him, had a good time, started going out. So this is where my journey began. Was I'm still clean, I'm still sober, I'm feeling good. I start going to the gym a little bit, and I get approached by one of the homies and says, hey, we need a model over here. And I'm thinking, what am I gonna do?
But who's this homie, man? Like, how do you even have this job, bro?
Shout out to the homie Lux Tattoos, man. That gave me my first opportunity in this little modeling gig,
Yeah.
So he had a clothing. They had some clothing lines that are out there. Shout out to Hood Ray's Clothing, Dirty Money, OG Family.
Oh yeah, Dirty Money. I like his stuff. I've talked to him before.
Yeah, my boy Jay from Dirty Money. And it's funny because Jay's the homie And I know he's gone through stuff where other people, young people have tried to infringe on his label, on his brand, and try to
like take the markings,
take the Dirty Money name and make something else and call it something else, Dirty Money this, Dirty Money that. But he's actually legit all the way across, as far as business, trademark, it's established already.
Yeah,
Dirty Money works,
Yeah.
So he's became one of my good friends, and he's been on a journey with me, man, and we've been doing some things together, man. So Jay's been a good friend of mine, man.
So just one connection got you like 2 or 3 more connections.
Yeah. So those got so I got those plugs. I started doing these little photo shoots, right? So then I had people clowning like, were you taking pictures? Like, what's up with these pictures? Like, so I ended up taking pictures, saying, you know what, you never know, So I got plugged in with Bernice Molina, which is my manager now, URA Management, which is also known as From the Streets to the Set, and which pretty much is a group of people who come from the same background as me, or broken homes, or gone through some sort of trauma, but are from the streets, from the hoods, from the barrios, from the ghettos, and are given opportunities to take acting classes and to get involved in theater and get involved in acting. So she gave me my first break to do SWAT. I did SWAT with her. That was dope. That was a paid gig and everything. And she gave me the opportunity to take some classes. So I took some classes with Alex Alfaro and Blanca Espinoza.
I got a quick question, man. What even got you interested into doing the acting? Because I feel like a lot of people would have been fuck that, bro. Like, I don't want to do none of that.
Well, the modeling thing was, I had to ask myself, where's this modeling? What do I want to do with this modeling thing, right? So I used to ask people, I say, hey, where do you see yourself in like 2 years? And they said, well, I just want to model. And I go, yeah, but you don't want to make no money? I go, let's be actors. And, because I sat back and I seen a lot of actors that were playing Latino roles that weren't Latino.
Yeah.
Yeah. I seen a lot of Armenians, nothing against them, but I seen a lot of Armenians, a lot of other people, races playing Latino roles. And I would sit back at home saying, that's my role. That's my spot right there. So finally, when I got the opportunity to do the modeling, I would ask people in the modeling business, I would say, hey, you know what? Let's get into acting. Let's go in together. So I actually had a group of dudes that I was doing modeling with and photo shoots with that said they were going to get into to the acting classes. And when they were offered to me through Bernice, and they ended up not
going through with nothing.
Nah, they didn't want to. You had to invest in yourself as well. You know what I mean?
So you think at that time your skill set wasn't all the way there?
No. I'm at the bottom. I'm.
Did you understand that at the moment?
I understood that if I wanted to get better, I had to believe in myself and invest in myself.
But did you get down like, oh, like fuck that,
no,
demotivated a little bit?
I was like more pumped up because on the journey the homies were like, nah, fool, like we don't, the homies don't do that.
Yeah.
The homies don't do that.
And then they're talking shit too because they're closed-minded at that point. Yeah. So, but where did that open? Like, where did you have an open mind?
My open mind was like, hey, you know what? When I met my manager, she's from the hood. She's not from my hood, but she's from a hood. She's a homegirl. But she's professional. She's ruthless. She's the shit. She's the shit. And you know what? Me and her had a couple little good talks, and she says, you know, this could be you. Let's do it. This could be you. I'm doing this. She's running her production company for 5 years, called From the Streets to the Set, and I seen a lot of things that she was doing already, and she goes, look, I got projects coming up. Let's get busy, let's do it. And so I was like, all right, let's do it. What do I got to do, So I took direction from her, and that direction got me into art acting classes, and it just went from one thing to another, meeting other people, and then but walking in with the open mind as well.
So pretty much after COVID, after that deal with God gave you the gift of finding your purpose in a sense.
Yeah, and I actually had to find how I was going to be moving, Am I going to move just as some random cholo, or am I going to move with purpose and with my head up, my chest out, So
was COVID a blessing?
It was.
Yeah.
It was a blessing.
So even though you were dying and, you were getting these sad calls, it ended up being the best thing that ever happened to you.
October 3rd, 2021 was the day I walked into Pomona Valley Hospital We just passed October 3rd. That was my 3-year anniversary, bro.
Wow, man.
So
For the past 3 years, you've just been acting ever since.
yeah, I've been taking classes. I've gone into theater. I did my first play with Alex Alfaro. I did Romeo and Juliet. I played Lord Montague, and I played Friar John.
Yeah, I think that's. I was gonna mention that. I was gonna say I didn't know if it was like something out of the Bible or something because of the way you were dressed.
No, that was well that was Romeo and Juliet, but they put a twist on it, the homie twist. So it was Romeo and Juliet rolling through East LA. So
that's cool though.
It was dope.
It's
was
funny,
dope.
but it's cool.
Yeah, you know what? And I think we maybe had 2 weeks of shows, 250 seats, and everyone sold out. Every show sold out, and even people standing in the background, people were just trying to get in there. It was pretty dope to have the Mexicano Latin community to come out and support us, and to say, hey, you know what? When's the next one?
Yeah.
When's the next one? So I ended up doing another one with them. It was through Stephen A. Gerges, and he wrote this play called Last Days of Judas Iscariot. So Alex Alfaro put the homie twist on it again. And there we go. We were at the Hollywood Fringe Festival this last year, and we sold out. I think it was 12 shows. Sold out, and I think we had got an award for that, and we went back for 2 more nights for an encore show.
Yeah.
Two more encore shows. Had tons of had David Ortiz there, Richard Cabral, a bunch of
bigger name celebrities.
Carlos Carrasco, you know, Popeye from Blood In Blood Out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? All the homies.
Oh, you met Popeye?
Yeah, Popeye.
He wanted your chon chon?
Yeah, the homie Carlos Carrasco, man. Shout out to him. The homie that plays the painter on Blood In Blood Out, Borrego.
Okay.
I forgot his first name, man, but I mean.
So you met a lot of Chicano, like Mexican American actors. Yeah. So
everybody coming out to support us and support the team.
Yeah.
And it's been a blessing, eh? It's been a blessing and a crazy journey so far, you know?
Are those programs specifically for Hispanic Americans?
No.
But it just happens that that's the predominant.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Man.
So that team from the streets to the set have become more like family now.
Yeah.
And for the most part, man, these are guys that even if they're not homies, they come from a crazy background, you know. And excuse me, and we're pretty much like brothers and sisters there, you know. And we get together all the time, constant, you know, auditioning for stuff. I recently did another short film called Angelino, and that'll be coming out next year.
Is that the one with the cops?
No, that one we're still filming that one. That one's called Corrupted.
And there's other actors that are pretty well known.
Angel Molina, Alex Gibson, Frankie Hernandez, some of the homies right there that are getting down.
There's one of them that you I think you did a little skit with. That his reels are always popping up.
Yeah,
always.
Alex Gibson.
The one with the long hair?
Yeah, and Alex Gibson is the homie too. You know, I mean, he's from the area right here, from the Harbor area, and
the guy with the long hair, the one that's always making prison reels and stuff. Oh, damn.
Yeah,
okay.
and it's funny because I have homeboys that are up there in Pelican Bay right now that are doing hundreds of years, and when Gibson was in his, you know, wasn't on his journey.
Yeah.
He was the neighbor. He was neighbor up there in Pelican Bay, you know, and so that's the homie right there. And
so his reels are like pretty legit.
Yeah,
I always laugh at them, man. Mm-hmm. They're just funny as hell to me.
Yeah, he's legit all the way across. And you mean I get phone calls from Pelican Bay right now, and still asking about him and how's he doing, and hey, tell him to stay up, tell him to keep on doing good. You know what I mean? From homies that are never coming home.
Yeah.
That are pretty much cheering us on right now. So it feels good to be a part of something that we were a part of before, but now to get the support from everybody behind the walls that are saying, hey, you know what, handle that, do that, because we're not coming home, but you keep us going out there, you know.
How does that feel for you? You know, being through what you've been through and the lifestyle you go through, having that, you know, because I know you guys see that as like a family structure. So when another homie's like, hey, support, you guys take that with a lot of respect and a lot of gratitude and appreciation.
Yeah, because there's a lot of validation there. A lot of homeboys that you know that you've been there with that don't have the opportunity to come home. And so what I try to do now is be there for them still in a sense that that, hey, just being able to pick up the phone and just say, hey, I'm doing good. I'm
Like
doing
guys
good.
hope and stuff.
Yeah. And then there's always too. I always get DMs, phone calls, because I have plugs for shout out to God's Pantry, man. Sergio over there at God's Pantry, who puts the homies to work when they're down and out. They don't have nothing going on, but they have programs there for parolees, for probation, for youth.
Yeah.
To get a job, to get some counseling, to get some structure going, to get the ball rolling, because they're tied in with Homeboy Industry as well.
Yeah, I know. I've heard of Homeboy Industry.
So God's Pantry in Pomona, man. Shout out to them. They, whenever if somebody needs food, like I call up the homie and he says, send them down here, and then they'll call me. Hey, thank you. This guy just filled up our car full of groceries.
That's good.
Yeah, I mean, and it feels good to give back.
To give back and to help others out. I got a question for you, Jay. So, with your acting career, coming up and you getting all these gigs, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
In the next 5 years, I see myself being, maybe, hopefully, God willing, one of the top Latino actors. And but at the same time, it's in God's hands. It's in God's hands, and I believe if I stay on this path of just doing the right thing, and being a role model, and keep on extending my hand, because I'm a firm believer also in I can't keep what I have unless I give it back.
Yeah.
So I constantly try to do what I can for others, not being selfish and staying humble,
That's right. And also you know what, bro? I like that your bio where you say soy del piel de oro.
Oh, soy de la raza de oro.
De raza, there you go.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Hell I like that.
Bro,
I like that. Did you make that up? Or?
No, bro, I got that from we have a family friends, Los Lobos, and they have a song.
Okay.
That says soy de la raza de
oro. Yeah. So where are you guys from?
East LA. My family's from East LA, man. Shout out to Solano family, and El Paso, Texas, man. Shout out to my aunt Sonia, my uncle Tony, and my cousin Alyssa, and everybody over there. My cousin Jessica, Michael, everybody. They've been my support group, man, and they show me a lot of love.
So you come from a long line of Mexican Americans, mainly?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Damn,
yeah,
bro.
my grandfather was Manuel Solano. He was in World War II.
Oh shit.
Army veteran, and
So your family has some history with like the Zuzu riots and stuff like that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely. So we go back as far as that, but yeah, man, you know what? It's a good feeling to be acknowledged now in the family. When I used to leave in the family parties, everybody used to tell me to behave.
Because they knew what you were gonna go do.
Hey, cabrón, behave, cabrón, And then now it's, hey, mijo, you're making me proud. We're all proud of you. So it's forward motion right now, and it's all about staying consistent and networking. I kind of like been doing a lot of the independent. I did a few independent films that are gonna be coming out, and it's kind of like the rap scene too. You see Nipsey, you seen all these dudes that stood independent.
Yeah.
And they're starting to blow up. So I see a lot of independent people in the actor world, doing stuff independently.
Yeah.
As far as like making movies, because because now the there's no money out there to make a movie.
Why don't you have you ever considered like trying YouTube and stuff like that and trying to do like your own like
Well, I've been writing.
bro.
I've been writing.
Your book, right? Yeah.
I've been writing. I've been starting to write my book called Moment of Clarity, and I'm halfway right now, and so I want my mess to be the message, I want my mess to be the message.
Are you gonna make that that book into a movie?
I want to make it into a short film. So like I've been fortunate to be close to Carnival Pictures, Four Ways, a bunch of other dudes that videographers that are dope, man, and I had a chance to work with them, and I know when I'm ready, I just got to make that call and say, hey, let's read this.
Yeah.
Let's work.
I think you should consider starting your own channel, man. Maybe doing your own little platform. And the reason why I'm saying is because your story is cool. So maybe doing like a vlog, like of you rehearsing, or like just going through your journey, just documenting it. Even if you don't even post it, bro. Just if you just maybe if you just document your journey, I think that'll be a cool little like segment for you to watch later on in life.
Yeah. So the book the first paperback book that I'm coming out with is a documentation of my journey from 2021 forward. So depending on how that goes, if it goes well, which I'm assuming it will go well, because I want my book to be in juvenile hall. I want my book to be in youth authority. I want my book to be in the prisons, all the halfway homes, men's homes, women's homes, because I want it to be a story that people could relate to. It's my story is very common, but nobody talks about it. Nobody talks about doing better. We just stay like, oh, I'm just gonna work at a warehouse. Like, dog, like, why don't you come to these acting classes with me? Because it's also therapeutic as well. I've gotten so much therapy and so much things worked out by just going to class.
You think staying productive and staying disciplined has really been what's got you out of your addiction? Other than the deal with like God, just staying disciplined, knowing that you're being productive and going towards a goal.
Well, I mean, I know first and foremost, I mean, nothing's possible without him,
Of course.
And so me giving him my word a few years back saying, hey, you know what? If you're going to do this for me, I will do this for you. So I got to be accountable, right? And I got to hold my word to him. So that's my number one thing is staying true to him, to God, and just letting everything fall wherever it may be, because my trust in him is going to make me win. I can't lose.
That's right.
I can't lose. I'm not going to lose with being with God,
Yeah.
So I made that's like off the top, like I'm going to win for sure, because guess what? Whatever happens, I know I'm going to be all right.
Hell yeah. I seen those pictures you took with Bozo, like those old school, like
Merck Mor.
like 70s style
Merck
cholo.
Mor. Yeah, shout out to Merck Mor, man. Richard Cabral hooked that up for me, man, and yeah, I wanted to that was more staying true to the roots, man. Like when we were growing up, that's who our homeboys were. That's who
like
we
that's
were.
how you would see.
Yeah, Stacey Adams, crease down Dickies or khakis, whatever, and a Pendleton, And as a matter of fact, yeah, those were some dope pictures, man.
Yeah, I was checking those out.
And Merrick Morin's a very, very cool dude, man. And there's a picture there that you see me holding this dog.
Okay.
I don't know if you see me holding that dog. and so Merrick Morin told me, hey, you know what? I have a rescue dog in the car right now. I got him from Mississippi. And I go, all right. He goes, do you mind if I let her off? Yeah, her name's Goldie. So he brings off this dog, like a beat-up golden retriever, but real nice dog. He goes, do you think Goldie could take a picture with you guys? So I go,
oh, I did see that picture, yeah.
Because everybody thought if I'm going to take a picture we're going to take a picture with a dog, it should be a pit.
Or a bully or something. Something hard, like aggressive, yeah.
Yeah. And so that was Merrick Morin's dog, Goldie. And
they gave it that soft touch to the picture, It's like the picture's all mean and aggressive, and then there's just a little cute, like we're just standing retriever.
There. We have the bomb in the back. Shout out to Lowrider Mama for bringing the bomb, and yeah, and then there we are with Goldie, man, and it turned out I was like thinking like what are we doing here? But then he sent me the picture a month later, and I go, damn, this is a dope picture, because there's a story behind it too as well.
Yeah.
So it was his touch. He's an artist. He's done stuff for Rolling Stones. He's done stuff for. He's been the main photographer for all the Latino films out there. So he has a lot of history out there. He has a lot of dope pictures, a lot of cool projects.
That's right. One more thing, man, before we wrap this all up. I know probably like when you were in your 20s, you wouldn't have expected yourself to be an actor. But what would you tell someone that lives your lifestyle that's around that age right now?
I would say don't waste time, and change is possible.
Change and positivity, huh?
Yeah, change is possible. Don't ever think that you can't do nothing, because everything is possible. From being an addict, being down 20 years, if you come out and you apply yourself and you really want to change, there are good homies out there that can show you that the change is possible.
Hell yeah. You know what, Jay? I want to recommend something for you. Look into the 75 hard challenge or whatever it may be. It's 75 hard. It's by Andy Frisella. Uh-huh. I think since you're working out and you're staying dedicated to what you're doing, I think you should read on it, see what that's about, and see if that will benefit you.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's literally like working out twice a day, eating a healthy diet, drinking a gallon of water a day. It's mainly like for mental toughness, but I think that could probably help you kind of shape your mind more to where you're more laser focused.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like just kind of like fine tune yourself to your goals. You know
I'm
what I'm
always
saying?
down for that. I'm always down for suggestions or, you know what I mean? Just what works for somebody else might work for me too.
No,
you know,
well, it's like right now, actually, we interviewed a tattoo artist. He was doing it. And then it's funny because I connected him to another guy we've had on that does detailing. So I connected them too, and then he motivated him to do it. But it all started with one producer that we interviewed because he was doing it. So it was just weird. It was just a trickle effect. Like he was doing it, and then he knew him, so he motivated him, and then we interviewed him, and then we connected him to another guy, and then they just motivated. There's 3 people doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I would want to welcome you to look into it and see if that's something you're interested in, man.
Yeah,
but because
absolutely.
it's like that, it's just that fine tuning of the entrepreneur mindset, and that, you know, because at the end of the day, that's what you are.
Yeah.
If you're doing independent films and you're pretty much just a gig, is you're selling yourself. You're selling yourself
Yeah.
as a self brand, you know. So also wait, one more thing. Do you have a self brand in mind coming up or anything like that?
Not yet. Me and my girl are working on that right now. So we will have something at the beginning of the year probably that we'll brand it, trademark it.
Yeah.
And then go from there, yo.
That's right, man. And you know what, bro? I'm happy to see you doing something different. You know, everyone's rapping. You know, everyone's doing a lot of things that are a lot of mainstream, but you never really hear of acting. You know, other than like, for example, Richard. I heard his story. You know, he's one of the guys that are like, I would say, really brought it into the spotlight. But you don't. It's not common. You know what I'm saying? So I want to give you your flowers and doing something different.
Yeah,
and you know, I would say even like motivating someone to even look into acting. Because as a Latino, bro, that's the last thing I'm ever thinking about. Yeah. Oh, I'm going to become an actor. Or I'm going to do this, you know?
But it's funny because I tell people, hey, you know what? I've been acting all my life. You know, so
yeah.
So why not? You know, I mean, we've been acting this, that, and the other, right? At the pad, you know? Especially coming from Latinos, you know, I mean, a lot of us are comedians.
Oh, yeah. Right away. We'd be roasting each other. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
so we have the best stuff.
Yeah. No, and I think our culture really gives us that confidence and that leadway to, like, have that, like, those conversations or to act out a certain way, you know? Because that's even one thing, too, is, like, when you're roasting someone, you might act like them. Even though it's mimicking them, it's like, it's a form of acting. I see what you're saying. It's like, if you put that in a business sense, it's like, hey, you really know how to act.
Yeah, look at Concrete. Look at all these dudes, you know.
Oh, yeah, Concrete's doing big.
You know, he's killing it right now. Shout out to him, man. And,
you ever want to do comedy?
You know what? Not really. But I mean, I could roast though. I could roast and I could tell some good jokes and some good stories, man.
That's right.
So I'm not. You know, it doesn't hurt me either. It doesn't hurt me.
You're not closed-minded to it either.
No.
That's right. All right, man. Well, this is the end of the podcast. Any final words?
No. Shout out to everybody on the team, man, from the streets to the set, and then shout out to my family, man, in El Paso, Texas. My aunt Sonia, my uncle Tony, my cousin Alyssa, Jessica, everybody, man. I love you guys.
And then give your socials.
If you want to catch me on Instagram, Jay Solano 99. That's pretty much it.
That's it. All right, man. Well, this is
shout out to all my sponsors too, and Lolo Streetwear and Dirty Money.
That's right. Well, this is the end of the podcast, guys. We learned something a little different. You know, acting, something out of the ordinary. But I think it's something that we really need to talk about. And I appreciate Jay for taking the time to drive over here. I know it was somewhat of a drive, bro. So I appreciate that.
No problem.
And again, bro, I'm happy to see someone doing something different.
Thank you,
and then, you know, as you proceed, bro, I hope you get bigger, just like how Bozo got a record deal. You know,
yeah, that's right, bro.
It was out of nowhere too, because it was like a year ago or. Yeah, almost a year ago, we interviewed him. He was talking about, I want to grow.
We're on the way up, man. We're on the way up.
Within that year, he gets a record deal, you know?
We're on the way up, man. Blue Team the realest, man.
Yeah, you're over here. I think you're up next in a different industry, and we're open. You know, you're opening new doors.
That's right.
And I think that's what's most important, man. But
absolutely.
With that being said, all money in, no money out. Stay dedicated, stay motivated, and we'll see you on the next one, Light on Wealth Club. Don't be a little bitch.